Um, so to kind of set the scene, Greybeard's usually, grumpy but lovable, and he hugs and shakes hands and all that. But since the death of Tigray, he has been down, like really, like scary down, like like Ian, but almost dangerous to be around, like physically near. So I guess when he approaches, he just kind of gives him the knowing nod, because we had kind of talked a little bit before about haha, I know and I see your ring and that kind of thing. So I kind of give him the sup nod, and then I'll say something like, what exactly does someone have to do to become friends and family these days?
Yeah, he kind of takes a look at you, and he kind of recognizes that the grim look on your face, but also the idea that you're interested. And he kind of motions you over, and you guys kind of walk over to maybe just the edge of the barn or whatever. And he's kind of leaning on the corner. You guys are just out of earshot, we'll say. And he kind of is like, well, our organization is ranges far and wide, and we're definitely always looking for people who are willing to go that extra mile and align their interests with ours. He says kind of cryptically to you. And he kind of fiddles with the ring on his finger a little bit, and you still see that symbol, the Zentarum symbol that you've recognized before.
Greybeard gets this like half grin, like almost a gritted teeth, kind of like, I understand completely. And he says, how would something like this, and he's gonna kind of stealth it out, the holy symbol of Asmodeus.
Yeah. So he says, what he can do. Okay, so he's like, well, what I could do is I can send a message back to my superiors and let them know that I think I've found somebody whose interests would lie along our path, and they would most likely allow me then to start you out as more like a kind of an informant type person at first, to really gauge loyalty and to let you get an idea of what we do. And that eventually could lead to, depending on what you're able to do for the network. And he uses the word network as like a capital N. So, it's like a common thing that they probably would say. They probably don't go around saying there's Zentarum. They go around and have this name for them. A lot of people refer to them as the Black Network. They call themselves the network.
Hey, I'll do a favor for you.
And he's like, so, you keep your eyes open and you report back, on interesting things that our group would want to know about. And then from there, we see where things go.
All right. Sounds good. Is there a phrase or such that I need to know?
Yeah, he teaches you maybe just a hand signal, and it's kind of like you already know some signals that are, because thieves can't, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you notice it's along the same kind of vein as that, even though it's not one of the thieves can't things, but it's kind of a similar kind of hand signal to allow others to know, or if you suspect somebody of being, another operative of some sort, you could do that to identify yourself. And he mentions to you that what you can do for now is, until he contacts you again, just keep your eyes open. If you see anything that might be interesting to the network, obviously you're new, so you might not really know what we're looking for yet, but just what I'll do is I'll be able to send messages to you. And he kind of says, I'll be able to get in touch with you even when you're not here.
Good. All right.
And it goes, and they kind of just pat you on the back and says to you, I hear them caves were tough, but you guys made it out and you got the villagers back, so you can take solace in that at least. And he kind of heads back over to the fire to kind of get warm again.
Greybeard's like leaning against the wall, and as soon as he gets like around the wagon where he can't see, you can see Greybeard's stony paw like dig into the plaster, and it's all he can do to keep the rage down. Like, you don't get to talk about my buddy.
Sure. Yeah, and he kind of maybe he's already half turned, so he doesn't quite see that yet. That interaction, and he moves back to his, and he just kind of starts having small talk with his minions.
I lump off in a way away from people.
Okay.
At that point, and then I'll circle way back around, almost like all the way down to the windmill before I come back, just to get my proverbial stuff together.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so that's our morning scene. Is there anything else anybody wants to do here in the morning?
No.
Okay. I thought I saw Kerrnel. Yep, I see Kerrnel there now. Okay, so we'll jump ahead to about mid-afternoon, maybe, not mid-afternoon. We'll say maybe 11 o'clock. And some riders, you hear a call from the tower, and I assume everybody is... are you back by now, Ian, or are you still out there even by 11?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, you hear a call from Kalen, who's on the tower. He gives the call of riders approach, and he gives the hand signal for 3 riders are approaching from the south. And we see Sidari and Alara coming up from the keep. And they're still quite a ways down, but they're riding up. They're not in a hurry or anything. They're just riding this way. And that allows you guys to get to wherever you want before they arrive. And we'll say Zolkin comes out too with his lieutenant.
Would we have heard that announcement inside the church?
Yeah, they have a signal to say, you hear the noise also, I don't know if he uses a bird call or whatever. You may not have seen the hand signals, but somebody's probably approaching or something's approaching from even inside.
All right.
What time is this happening?
About 11 a.m.
All right, I'm still not awake yet.
Okay. All right, so let me bring in... Suppose we'll just use another generic. All right, so we'll get them up to the gate here. All right, so where's everybody going to be as these people? You have plenty of time to figure out wherever you're going to be. They're coming up the road now. It's probably going to be another 10 minutes before they get there. So feel free to place yourself, wherever. Okay.
I'm leaning up against a rock.
All right. Yep. We'll say Sidari's up here with Alara.
I'm gonna go up
near the gate. Kalen is on top. Okay, Jarral's up on top.
But I'm gonna keep myself hidden so that it's not obvious that they can see me. I'm just gonna observe.
So you can be like crouched down underneath?
I can see out there, but I'm trying to I guess I'm being stealthy.
Okay, because there's not a lot to stealth behind, so go ahead and make a stealth roll.
Yeah, there's shadows or
need a high one. Yeah. No, it's midday, it's a top, there's a few crenellations, but if you want to be able to see, now if you just want to hide, like ducking down, but you can't see,
No,
Okay.
I'll just maybe I'll stand behind the lookout.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Ardreth sleeping. Zulkan and Galpar, and they're here. Okay. So they come across the. They come to the bridge, and you guys can see because the bridge is down anyway, so all of you can kind of see out that way, and you see them come up the north part of the road, and then make their way to the drawbridge. They start coming across the drawbridge, and it's one in the lead, and two riders at his back. They have horses, and when they get to the wagon part, they kind of dismount at the just before the drawbridge, and they start leading their horses across. And what you see is they're dressed in blacks. They have like a black tricorn kind of hat, and they have black riding dusters, and the dusters go all the way up and basically mostly almost cover their mouth almost all the way up to the nose. You can just barely see the eyes as they come across, and they have the badge of Waterdeep on the dusters. And the badge of Waterdeep is it's basically a 4-pointed star. It's a circle badge, a circular badge, and on the top is a 4-point star, also known as a mullet, and underneath that is a cupped crescent moon, and that's the symbol of the Waterdeep Watch. And they lead their horses past the wagon part, and then he kind of sees all the different people here, and Sidiri kind of walks up to greet him. And is anybody else going to engage in this, or?
I'm gonna stay where I'm at, listen close.
Can I see out the side of the lookout? Like, is it open on that side?
It's crenelated all the way around, so you can move around to the crenellation area if you wish.
All right, so I'll just kind of look at this side of it.
Okay. So Sidiri walks up and talks, and so he walks up to Sidiri, and as he's taking his gloves off, his riding gloves, and he undoes the duster, the riding duster. You can see it's a human, and he walks up and he shakes the hand of Sidiri, who's dressed basically like a guard, and there's a kind of a look of respect on his eyes. He's very guard-like. They have swords and bows, and then they have extra weapons on their horses, so they're definitely a well-armed group. And you guys recognize this is a very similar attire, like when you're in Waterdeep and the people that are patrolling the streets and stuff, they're usually running around. They don't necessarily have swords and such. They might have truncheons and things while they're in the town, but it's not unheard of that the watch or the magisters also patrol on the outsides of Waterdeep and down and some of the roads and such. He shakes the hand of Sidiri, and you hear him announce, says, "My name, hello, I'm Baldur." Just going through my notes here. Oh yeah, and you see he has black hair, brown eyes. He has a ponytail that you can see coming from underneath his tricorn hat. Black leather coats. Oh, he has 3 constables with him. Let me add another one there. So there's a third one. So there was 3 extra people. Okay. He says to Sidiri, "I see the reports are true. It looks like this town's nearly been destroyed, and we heard that giants attacked. Is that true?" So you hear this conversation with Sidiri, and she kind of gives the recap of the town and what had happened as far as the giants had attacked. Their floating city or floating tower had come up on them in the afternoon, started dropping rocks, bombarded the keep the most, even though they did bombard some of the town. Once the town had fled and it looked like the keep was mostly destroyed, the tower sunk to the ground. 2 of the giants got out, came in, they ripped out the Nightstone from the center of the town square, and they took it back to their floating keep, and then they left, heading south. And then she gives a quick recount of a little bit of all the other things that have happened. Zolkin has now had it come over to the conversation. He also shakes the hand of our Magister Baldur, and he introduces himself as Zolkin, and Zolkin's the one that sent the message, and he gives him kind of a nod of, okay, now I put a name to a face as far as who sent the message. And he said, she also, Sidiri tells him the story that in that battle, Lady Valrosa has perished, and has been laid to rest in the crypt with her husband, and that the townsfolk have now returned, have been brought back by, and she kind of says a group of heroes have saved the townsfolk and rescued them from the caves where they were being held captive, and we just got everybody back. And so the Magister kind of then says, okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look, and just ask Sidiri to go ahead and give him a tour of Nightstone to see the damage. And then he kind of asks who's in charge at this point, and Sidiri has kind of said, well, we're all just kind of doing what we think needs to be done. I guess if you had to say somebody's in charge at this point, I'm making the decisions at the moment. Anything from our group during this conversation?
I'm just listening.
Same.
Watching Ian.
Yeah,
See what she does.
She
I'm just
shoots him.
standing
He's
there
human.
Yeah. I'm just standing there, trying
Okay.
to see what's happening.
All right, so Alara then leads the other Magisters and the horses, and Magistrate Baldur kind of hands his reins to his horse to the constables, and they're going to take him over to the stables, so you start to see them move. And Sidiri starts taking him basically on a tour to start showing the damage. The constables kind of look at all of you, kind of with discerning eyes, descriptive, they're, I would say inquisitive eyes, like they're noting what you look like, what stuff you carry, kind of profiling you a little bit as they go. And Alara is just kind of chattering to them that it's good to see the Waterdeep magistrate and the constables, and they start moving here. Galparin goes kind of with Alara, and go ahead.
They're from Waterdeep.
Yes.
I'll kind of fade away a little bit due to my bad reputation feature.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a slinking away stealth check so nobody notices me not looking away suspiciously roll.
And while he's doing that,
Okay.
I'm gonna catch
Red. Oh my
Falls right for
So
it said stealthy for a dwarf.
yeah. So they definitely had you not moved, might not have noticed you much, but as you began to slink away as if you have the guiltiest look on your face, they note that, but they don't do anything at this point. But they are now certainly suspicious of you for sure. And then Sidiri and let me put a nameplate on Magister Baldur here.
So while Greybeard's trying to make his escape, I kind of witnessed this, and I just kind of step in the middle here. I want to keep within earshot of Alara to hear what she's talking about. With I'm assuming she's going toward the hole where the Nightstone was. So I just kind of insert myself between Greybeard and the group to kind of take their attention away.
Okay. There we go. Let me make it so you guys can see it. Go. Okay. Yeah, Alara walks them around where the Nightstone was, and they do take a look at it, but she doesn't really stop and say anything about it. They're just kind of leading the horses off, the constables leading the horses off over to the stable area, and she's just mentioning that she's kind of filling in a few more of the details of the that the town also had been attacked by a goblin raiding group, and then that some orcs had come by and the elves had stopped by, and she's just kind of nattering her on about how many different things have happened since the attack, things that Sidiri kind of just glazed over, didn't say anything about.
All right, so she's not telling them anything else that we didn't already know.
No. Nope.
All right, then I'm gonna. Once I realize that, I'm just gonna peel off and hang back.
All right.
I'm going to head down the middle here. Not to seem like I'm following Sidiri and the Magister.
Okay.
But I am. It's just in a long way.
Okay.
Just
So,
what they're
yeah,
doing.
yours wouldn't be too hard, but go ahead and give me a roll just to let me see if they even recognize you. Give me a stealth roll if you're trying to.
Son of a bitch!
So, you're as suspicious looking as the dwarf at this point. So at this point, they don't even think you're heroes. They're starting to think that maybe you're bandits and might need to be taken care of at this point.
Weak.
Some elf guys.
All right. So about 2 or 3 minutes later, they make it down to the bottom area. So that's about 2 or 3 minutes. At that same time, the horses are being put in the stables. What are you guys doing during those 2 or 3 minutes now? Nothing different. I can keep going.
No, I'm just gonna stand around the hole and just contemplate it for a bit.
I'm gonna talk to Finn about my worries about this dwarf and wood elf. Something suspicious.
The remarkable lack of dexterity.
Yeah.
They
I'm gonna
they
head
do
off.
look suspicious to you.
Hey, I came in with a dead elf on my shoulder. Coffee
You
black.
might have
You were
killed
there.
him.
It's true.
They don't know.
Oh man, the Drow is the least suspicious looking of the three of us. That is the worst part.
That's racist.
That's right.
Hi, what is it?
That's dwarvish.
Okay, so Ian, I guess at this point you can see Daphne Featherstone comes up from the keep, and they have basically fixed this bridge a little bit. It's not safe by any means, but it's actually walkable now. It's not, everybody's not having to leap across an open stretch anymore. They've wooded it up enough that people can get back and forth across to the keep. And Daphne Featherstone is there, and she greets the Magister and Sidiri introduces her. Now you're not really close enough to hear the conversation, but you see that they are having a conversation here at the bottom.
Does it just look casual?
It looks like introductions. It looks like maybe just trading more information, as far as you can tell. I mean,
Okay, not distressing though.
no.
How many guards are alive at this point?
You had 3 from the town, and you brought Tegan back and Jace. who is finally up. Jace is up. Was healed by our druid before he left. So I think that's 5 total guards at this point.
It's Jace went back to the keep, I'm assuming?
Yeah, Jace is at the keep.
Okay. Alright.
And so is Tegan, although I don't see where I put Tegan at this point. We'll say Tegan and Jace are back at the keep.
Okay. Sure.
All right, so there's a...
For like 10 minutes.
Okay, so there's a couple minute conversation, and then you see Daphne kind of motion towards the keep, and then they start walking towards the keep, and they head towards the keep.
All right, so I'll
So
give
they're-
it like 2 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, they have. Okay.
So wherever they are, after 2 minutes, I'm gonna come, just saunter in, and I'm going to.
Yeah,
head towards
you
where I
wait, and
think-
you see him go into the door of the barracks, which you know is the front portion. This first building. Here is the guard barracks, and you see them enter that door, and the door closes kind of behind them, and then you kind of lose sight of them after that.
Cool. I'm gonna try and save whatever face I can and head into wherever I think Jace is.
Okay, you're gonna try to hurry up and catch him, or you're gonna just keep a...
No, just casually, just
Okay.
like I'm gonna go visit someone. Not that I'm following.
Okay. Where are my... I thought we had Jace and Tegan icons around here somewhere. Did I miss them? Huh. Oh, they might be on the other map. Maybe that's what it is. Let me do another guard one here. Yeah, Kerrnel, did you see all of these tokens I'm having to deal with? Mr. Complainer on
I
Saturday
do.
night?
Hey, I said I respect your position.
That one is Tegan.
Plus, I'm sick. That's
Plus, you're sick. That's true. We're sorry you're sick.
Thank you.
And we said Jace. There we go. All right, let's move. Down. Okay, so when you enter the barracks, you hear just a tiny bit of noise off to your left, Ian, and it's just a quiet conversation. But and you see Jace and Tegan are sitting around a table inside the barracks, and it looks like they're maybe having an afternoon kind of snack, maybe like lunch type thing, at a table there. And they see you kind of walk in, and Tegan waves you over and asks if you want a mug of water and some of the soup that they have.
Sure. Yeah. Why not? I'll hang out with Tegan and this Jace who got caught. I wanted to talk to Jace anyway, so.
Okay, yeah. So they get you a bowl and they have you sit down, and it's just kind of a roundish table. And when you walked in, you noted that to the right, the place that was smashed was the main sleeping quarters. It was like a dorm room kind of barracks area, and this left side was more of like the other living area. So it has part of the armory is over here, the kitchen that they use to do all their food and stuff, just a kind of a resting area, like a break room kind of thing. And that's the part you're in now. That part was not hit by any of the rocks. But you do not see Magister Baldur, you do not see Daphne, and you do not see Sidiri.
No, they probably went into the other place.
Yeah, you're thinking they probably went to the keep. They didn't pass you going back, so they obviously must have went on to the keep.
Yeah.
Okay, they get you some broth that they had here. It's got a little bit of potatoes and some carrots, and you're thinking probably poultry of some sort, probably chicken. But it's kind of a weak broth. They're not. It's just kind of a midday snack, and they give you a mug of cold water.
Oh, sweet.
And you see Tegan kind of take a seat, and she sits pretty close to Jace. You've definitely gotten the vibe before, even in the caves, but she's kind of reinforcing that with the body language of, this is her man.
Yeah.
Back off, elf. No, I'm just kidding.
Just for the first half of us just eating there, we just make idle conversation. And once we're finishing up our meal, I ask Jace how he's feeling after his ordeal.
Yeah, and he's kind of stays looking at Tegan quite a bit. They are facing each other quite often, stealing glances at each other, continuing to eat. And he says to you, "Well, I feel much better now. The experience of being dragged off into blackness that it was the color of the abyss, having no idea what was happening, and then just feeling those fangs, or it almost felt like a giant dagger stabbing me in the chest, and then I just faded out. I thought I was dead for sure. I can't believe that I've woken up. I almost feel like this must be a dream, and maybe this is heaven." And he just keeps looking at Tegan.
Well, at least you didn't have to look at it. I hear from my companions that they were an ugly thing to see. They very bravely fought, several of them, to bring you and Eliza back from what should have been the dead. I'm glad to see you're doing well. You fought and protected very bravely the villagers. I'm sure your strength and constitution held up much better to the spiders than any of your citizens would have. You were very brave in the moment as we came in and attempted to rescue you all.
It's like I was definitely scared for my life, but thank you. I've just met you, and I've heard that not only were you able to save us, but you've even saved this town once or twice over, which is amazing for a group of people to just kind of come and save somebody they don't even know. So we definitely appreciate you helping us out.
Well, as a fellow guard of my own village, it wouldn't have felt right to leave your town in such a state after being attacked by just the unbelievable. I'm glad we've been able to help you all and able to save you, Jace.
What was your town attacked by, Ian?
We, all the time, I'm from the high forest, and everything is always dangerous in the high forest, so we're always in high alert. My village has been attacked by, what this town has been attacked by, but the one that ravaged my village, as this town has, were an army, essentially, of goblins who came in and set everything aflame and burned at least half of the village down. But that was, 6 decades ago? We were able to fight them off, and we've rebuilt, and we've become stronger since.
Yeah, when you say the word goblin, you see kind of the steel in his eyes a little bit more, and he's like, "I'm ready to kill every damn one of them goblins."
You and me both. I laugh a little bit. I chuckle.
Okay.
Tegan was a great help in protecting everyone. She was adamant that we immediately go in and grab you, but she was able to put duty before her feelings, which I'm very proud of, and I'm glad my companions were able to save you, Jace. But we were coming after we delivered the civilians to come save you, or at least gather your body, whichever of the two happened. Tegan must care very much for you. You're very important to her.
You see him give her a glance and a half smile, and he says, "Well, she was always tough, and I would almost say stubborn." And she kind of punches him in the arm, and they kind of just go back to eating the soup, the broth.
And once we're done, I say, that the magistrate of Waterdeep has come by, and he passed by here before I got here. So if you would like to go visit with him or any of the other people he came with, they should be in the keep. As I finish my broth.
Yeah, he says, "Oh yeah, we saw them go by just a few moments ago. In fact, are you going to see them?"
Sure, if you will accompany. Let's go speak to the Magister. I saw Sidiri and Daphne. Is that her name?
Daphne. Yeah.
And Daphne passed by.
Well, he says, "Oh, we weren't gonna go. It was just we thought maybe you were here to see them. Do you want us to bring you there?"
Yeah, they should know of your bravery in protecting the civilians and your experience.
Okay. So yeah, Tegan says, "Well, I'll take her into, and introduce her to the Magister." And Jace starts to begin to clean up the stuff there, and then so Tegan kind of waves you ahead and starts going to the keep.
All right, and I nod towards Jace, and I go after. I walk behind Tegan.
Okay. Too soon. No. All right, so that's probably a 5 to 10 minute conversation. Let me give the chance for the other group to say what they're doing. What's going on while you see the Magister and Sidiri head to the keep and Ian head to the keep. What's the rest of the group doing? Ardreth's still sleeping.
Unless someone wakes him up. I'm sleeping till noon.
Okay. Jarral's inspecting the hole.
In the BRB.
Oh, okay. So we'll say he's still inspecting the Nightstone hole. Greybeard is slinking off. We have no idea where to, but he's slinking off. Finn and Coffee. Anything else?
You could just lean on the fence post and make small talk.
Yep.
Okay. Like you want to do small talk, or you just want to say the word small talk and we can move on?
Just
You
say
can move
small
on.
talk.
Okay.